Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm a little out of sorts here. We started our morning off wrong. We were out of coffee. I decided I didn't want to go to the grocery store. I went to McDonald's, sat in a ridiculous line in the drive-thru. That makes me feel really stupid when I sit in these long drive-thrus. My chair's messed up here. We're having all kinds of problems here this morning, but guess what? We will get it done because that's how we roll. I want to show you this first. Circle issuer, the issuer of USDC, intends to make the U.S. its new legal home ahead of its planned IPO there. Just by pure coincidence, my sponsor Link2 added what, I don't know if it's going to be the last of the Circle shares or not. But I know they added Circle shares onto the platform. I've heard whispers. That's all I'll say. Okay, moving ahead. And that's, if you want to check it out, linqto.com. They got some stuff going on today around that. Now, you know, golly, I see all these people being, by the way, I bought more XRP this morning, because I love it when these people come out here and talk negative. And here's why. It's a weird thing with XRP, folks. It's the only investment I've ever been a part of where, for me, it's an investment, but it's the only thing I've ever seen in the investing world where people that don't, I mean, this is a large part of the reason I've been here for so long. People that supposedly don't believe in XRP and supposedly think that it's just this horrible thing. But they do two things. One, some of them pretend to be like they're into XRP, and then they spend the next year or two talking bad about it. And it's like, why are you still here? Why not go off into, if you, that's what you really think, then go off and talk about your cartoon monkeys. Join their community. Talk about cartoon monkeys. Talk about Dogcoin or whatever the crap is that you supposedly believe in. But that's not what they do. Not only do they stay, but other bad guys come in. And then they crank up spaces and they talk bad about XRP for hours on end at times. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you waste your time? Why would you waste so much of your time that could be spent on things you do believe in, trying to actively sell other XRP holders on this idea that it somehow is not legitimate or whatever? Well, since I've been here since 2013, since I've seen ETHgate, since I've seen CoinMarketCap pull the South Korean prices in 2018, and which caused XRP to get knocked down, since I've looked into who the owners of CoinMarketCap were at the time, since I've seen all of the FUD by the crypto influencers that will never answer any questions when challenged, like Laura Shin, since I've seen them write the hit pieces, since I've seen all of that, I've watched it for years now. It is not, and look, if I've learned anything, whatever they accuse you of, that's your red flag. If they're accusing you of something, I've been accused since I got in this of, oh, Ripple pays you, which is a lie. I've said it over and over, it's a lie. But when you're being accused of something like that, the answer is to look right back at the accuser. Because there's no question in the world for me that all of these people, not all, but a bunch of them, that if you're going to do all the things that we've seen done to try to scare people away from Ripple and XRP, or to try to hurt Ripple, wouldn't you also hire an army of people to go into the XRP community and sow seeds of doubt? Of course that would be part of your plan. There's not a question in my mind that that's part of what goes on. And it's some of that. There are some people who turn negative, and for whatever reason they decide they just want to hang around and try to make everybody else negative. That's pretty stupid too. And then you have another group of them who were XRP people, and somebody bought them along the way, and then they became the property of other tokens, and so they're in stealth mode, really trying to get people away from XRP and get them into other things. I won't name any of the names or any of the names of the tokens, but that's going on too. Write it down. Those are my thoughts. But what I do is I say, cheers, keep being negative. I will keep buying XRP. XRP saw a 600% surge in inflows amid market uncertainty. This is recently witnessed remarkable 600% surge. Says making extraordinary performance for the cryptocurrency, according to CoinShares report. Anyway, folks, there are so many. Just look at these. This is from Dr. Martin Hisbach from Uphold. Major institutions are using Ripple's ODL product via Uphold. Simon McLaughlin, CEO of Uphold, speaking on Uphold Vault, support for Bitcoin and XRP, Uphold Ripple partnership, and ODL XRP usage by institutions, Ripple stablecoin, Bitcoin ETF, performance and crypto market outlook, tokenization. The regulations are coming, folks. You couldn't drag me away from my XRP kicking and screaming right now. There are more things coming up on the horizon than there ever have been from my the digital asset that I'm into, which is XRP. And guess what? I don't go into other people's communities and talk down their token or whatever. I don't go to the Bitcoin message boards or wherever they hang out and try to talk bad about Bitcoin. I do it here on my channel, but I'm not over there I'm not trying to track them down and change their minds on Bitcoin. I'll tell you what I think, which is that it's a Trojan horse, but anyway, you get the point. Okay, moving along. Now, look, I don't know much about this guy. I just know he's a gold guy. He's some gold guru or whatever. But anytime there's somebody who all of a sudden discovers XRP that's from the gold community or any other community, I feature it.
Money system. And so back to the money system, with a click of a button, you don't need a middleman with blockchain. Well, I did do a little bit more homework on XRP. So good news for you, Nona.
Wait a minute. Breaking news alert. Hang on. Go ahead.
So I did a little homework on XRP because I did a couple. One interview with a guy who's really nice, super nice guy. I did a couple of podcasts with him, or one podcast with a couple of guys that love crypto, and I did a little more homework on XRP. And then furthermore, I did a little prophetic research on XRP. And here's what I found out about it. Like the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar started out great until. There's always that until. Right? The U.S. dollar is great because you can go to the bank, you give them a piece of paper, they give a piece of gold back, or you go to the bank, you give them some gold, you give them some paper back so you can transact. See, it's all good. It's good intent. But when Nixon took us off the gold standard, now you got demonic money, and God actually says that. If you go listen to the video, Stairway to Heaven, God actually...
I don't know what he's talking about, all this, the God stuff. I mean, I know gold's God's money, but we don't do religion on this channel. I'm just trying to get you to the part where he discovers XRP.
Quick and fast coin. So that's the advantage of it, its speed. But the other thing is when the SWIFT system, this is the prophetic side that I've kind of come to realize. When the SWIFT system goes down, it's going to go down. When the SWIFT system goes down, or no one wants to use it anymore because there's an alternate, you don't have to use a SWIFT anymore. Because the way we transact is about to change forever. And so I truly, I believe, my best guess, and I believe after I do my research and look from the more the prophetic side of how this could play out, that XRP might replace. In other words, it'll be the alternate form of transactions outside of the SWIFT system. So it'll be used for high-speed transactions, so people can actually transact. It won't be a store of wealth, so it might go up a lot in value, but still, the store of wealth is going to be in Bitcoin and some more valued coins. But for transactional instruments, I believe people are going to be using XRP for transactions. So I think what you've been doing and stacking some of that has been good, and I Actually, I added a little bit to my pot.
He's stacking XRP. Now this is interesting. This is Paul Ryan, who used to be in the, I think he was in the House. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him because he's a political animal, and he's. I always thought he was way too polished for his age, like someone who wanted to be a career politician. I don't trust people like that. Now, but I do trust that he knows what's coming on stablecoin regulation.
I guess the question is, what could you do now, knowing we have debt problems in the future? I think there's a couple of things Congress could do. They're not, but maybe they'll get something done. I think stablecoin legislation would be a good step in the right direction. That could be helpful. That could be done this year, but I don't see anything other than that on the horizon.
Let's talk about stablecoin, because I've heard you say that actually getting legislation on that could help treasury auctions. And when you said it, I said, what's the connection there? Take our audience through that connection.
Yeah, so stable coins, which are digital private sector dollar-backed currencies. It's not crypto because it's tethered to the US dollar. They have to have dollar-backed assets. They have to have treasuries or cash to back those stable coins. There's not a law that governs these right now, so they aren't really deployed. But if you actually have a law, which Patrick McHenry and Chair Waters, Maxine Waters and Patrick McHenry are putting a deal together. Schumer is in talks with them. I think there's a reasonable chance they could get a deal on stablecoin legislation. That means you have a legal framework in which you have stablecoins deployed. You'd go from a couple $100 billion of stablecoins to, maybe trillions. Right now, stablecoins are like the 16th largest buyer of bonds, bills, and notes among all sovereigns. If you actually regulate stablecoins, have them deployed, that does two things. That gets the US dollar more deeply ingrained in the oncoming digitization of currencies. That's a good thing. And you create new consumers' demand for our bonds because they have to have those to back up the stablecoins. So more demand for treasuries, more use of a digital dollar throughout the system to help better entrench the dollar. It's a win-win situation for America. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic Congress might do that this year still. There are good talks happening. And that's one thing you could do on the margins to try and, improve demand for our bonds and improve dollar.
All righty then. Now this was very interesting right here from Cowboy Crypto. Ripple invests 1.05 million in Morgan State's FinTech Center. Okay, and then this is Morgan State announcing it right here. 1 point from Ripple fuels Morgan State's National FinTech Center. Find out how this grant keeps us leading the charge in FinTech education. But here's the interesting thing that Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, by the way, he also puts this underneath the tweet. He says, philanthropist Mackenzie Scott gives $40 million to Morgan State University. Mackenzie Scott, ex-wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, donated $40 million to Morgan State, largest donation in the university's history. And of course, this reminded me of Kendra Hill, who disappeared off crypto social media, who said that there was an Amazon partnership years in the making where Amazon had a 5 billion XRP stake, and that it's been kept secret with, of course, this line: when the Amazon partnership is announced, the world will be talking about XRP. Millions of people will buy XRP on that day, so this partnership is being saved for a later date. Folks, I'm not saying that that's happening or that they did buy 5 billion XRP. I'm just saying I've always been fascinated by it, and nobody has ever denied it. And when they deny it, I'll stop talking about it. I'm going to skip over this. I'll talk about this in the next video. But what I do want to talk to you about is in my private group at daixrp.com. First, I want to remind you, because I covered the Uphold tweet. He was talking about the Uphold Vault. In daixrp.com, I've got I'm going to give you I'll remind you of the code in there that you can get 30% off if you want to use the Uphold Vault to store your XRP, or I think now they do XRP and Bitcoin. But we're about to go into daixrp.com. We're going to talk a little more. I want you to get a better understanding, because I think that it has everything to do with crypto and investing in general. I want you to I'm going to give you a better understanding of what's going on with GameStop and what's going on, like how all this unfolded and why it's such a freaking big deal. It's not just about GameStop stock and all that stuff. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that away we go. We're going to show you